notes log in both Confluence and in Coda. And the meeting notes log will simply just be a place that anyone on the team can go to see all the meeting notes that have been written down, decisions that were made, who attended those meetings, etc. And I'm going to show two different methods for creating kind of like a meeting notes repository in Confluence first. So I'm actually going to first go ahead and just create a new page. And I'm going to call this, I'm going to load. I'm going to call this meeting log. Give it an icon, hopefully. And then just publish this. Okay, and then within this meeting log, I'm going to create a sub page. And I'm actually going to just use the default meeting notes template here that Confluence provides. And it's pretty nice. It has a bunch of information that you might discuss in a meeting, like the date, participants, goals. But maybe your culture, your team meetings in your culture, maybe you don't need discussion topics or action items. You probably do, but let's just say for example purposes, you don't need all these sections. So you can create your own space template. So I'm actually going to select all this data for now, copy this, and then I'm going to delete this page. Can I delete this page? Delete on publish page, delete page. So I'm back to just having a meeting notes log. I'm going to go to my space settings, click on look and feel templates. And this will load eventually. It will load eventually. Okay, I'm actually going to delete this existing template just to redo this one more time. Remove. So here you can basically create space templates, which are templates you can copy and use for multiple future meetings so that you have the same exact format for all of your meetings to keep things in a standard format. So I'm going to click on create new template here under my space settings. And I'm just going to copy and paste the, I'm going to call this my cool meeting notes template. I'm going to paste that information here. And let's say for my team meetings, I don't really need to have all these extra sections here. But in my culture, my team culture, I might have like a kudos culture where I want to like give kudos and congrats to your teammates. And I'm going to insert an emoji here just to keep it consistent with my rest of my template. And once you have this template set up, this is again tailored to your specific team, your culture, the way you guys handle your team meetings. Hit save. Eventually this will save, and you'll see this show up as a template in your space settings, which you can then use over and over again for all of your future meetings. So my cool meeting notes template. So go back to my pages here. I'm going to go back to my meeting log and click on the plus button to create a new subpage. And let's try using this new meeting template that I created for everyone that is in my space. And hopefully this will load. Okay, I think it's, okay, there we go. Create a child page. And now on the templates on the right-hand side, I can write my cool meeting notes. And notice how like my template I just created for my space, I can just click on this and it automatically loads up that template, which I can use for my next meeting. Maybe this could be August 1st, 2022 meeting notes. And you can start, writing your notes here and do all this kind of stuff. And when you're ready to publish these notes, just simply hit publish. And it shows up as a subpage within your meeting log. Let's say I have another meeting. I can click on this plus sign. And I can again search for my templates, my cool. Click on that. This will be 8/2/22 meeting note. And publish this. Let's wait for this to load. And there you go. Now you have a bunch of your child meeting notes collapse within your meeting log parent page. And if you want to show these meeting notes on your meeting log page, you can use this. We discussed this when we were building our vision, mission, and values page. You can use the children display macro /children display, and it will automatically show up all the subpages or children pages within that parent page of meeting log. So now in the future, when your teammates want to look for a specific meeting note, they can just go to this table of contents, which will automatically get created when you add new subpages. You can just click on the meeting note and it automatically brings you to that specific note. And that's one method, albeit not the best method in my opinion, to keep a log of all your meeting notes. So I'm going to delete this page, this whole meeting log for now, delete. And I'm going to show you a different way of creating meeting notes. And I'm not sure why these subpages still show up. Let's refresh. Okay, load. Please load. Yep, for some reason these subpages still show up even though I deleted. I probably had to figure out some setting to delete all the subpages because I don't want these individual meeting notes from my previous. Delete, please. Let's click on this one. Yeah, feel free to skip over all this kind of mundane stuff and go to the table of contents and the video notes to go to the actual important content instead of this stuff. But I want to show you kind of like my thinking and process of building out a team hub. So let's go ahead and build out another page. And we're going to call this meeting log again. Let me show you what happens when I use one of the default templates. Meeting notes. Let's call this meeting log. Give it a nice emoji as usual. And I'm just going to click on, I should just make sure I'm looking at the right, yep, meeting notes. Notice how I have my micro meeting notes template. I'm going to use this default meeting notes template from Confluence again. And I believe when you use the default meeting notes template, it comes with some extra bells and whistles. Let's actually publish this page and let's see what happens. Not sure what this means. Loading. Okay, so notice how this is called meeting log. Actually, let me edit this to rename this to be the meeting note date because I want to show you what actually happened behind the scenes. 8/11/22 meeting. So Confluence created this meeting notes template for me, their default meeting notes, but notice it also created this meeting notes kind of summary page, if you will. And the summary page has some interesting building blocks on it that I should tell you about. I wonder if I can move this into this subpage. There we go. So now I have a subpage here called 8/11 meeting note. And this page is quite interesting because now I can actually click on a button to create a new meeting note from this page. I can look at a table that automatically gets created of my meeting notes, which is similar to the children macro. But I think this is just a little neater compared to the previous method. So I'm going to click on edit this for now. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm basically going to notice how I'll first point out a few of these features in Confluence. We have a task report macro, which you can edit. There's a right-hand sidebar that comes up on the right. This is like for tasks that have labels of meeting notes. Decision for meetings. This content report macro is an important one. It pulls all the meeting notes with the label of meeting-notes. And I'm going to edit this button. It's kind of like a button, but it's actually just a create from template macro. it does exactly what you think it does. It just creates a new page from a space template. We're going to use that My Cool Meeting Notes template. So let's rename this button to be Create My Cool Meeting Note. The template name, we're going to go all the way to the bottom. You can see how there's a My Cool Meeting Note template. We're going to use that. Title of page creator, you can actually use different things like the space name, the space key. I'm going to just use current date. And what that does is it's a variable, and it automatically puts the current today's date as the page title. Space key, we'll keep that right there. And let's click on save. Hit publish. And now when anyone in my team goes to this meeting notes team hub, they can automatically click on, so they're in the meeting notes page. They can click on create My Cool Meeting Note. And it will automatically create a new page with My Cool Meeting Note. I don't have to search for the My Cool Meeting Note in the templates right-hand sidebar. It automatically shows up. See that how it has that kudos thing, which is a custom thing I added to the space template. It gives you a custom today's date. I can add an emoji and hit publish. And you'll see that this new meeting note shows up in the meeting log now. If I go back to my left-hand sidebar in Confluence, it was supposed to show up there. Oh, you know what it is? I think the label, let's go back to my space settings. I think I have to set the template to have a certain label, because that content report macro, these are some small nuances. No, I don't want to edit this theme. Some small nuances about using space templates in Confluence that you may not be aware of when you're first using Confluence. Hopefully this will load. Click on templates. Yeah, feel free to skip through this. Press that right arrow key. Click on the little progress bar in the YouTube video. I think I have to edit this template to have a certain label every single time. I really hope it's not the case, but it's either in here or somewhere else that I have to edit the label. Yeah, it's not. Oh, I think it is here actually. Oh wait, we need to add a label to this template. Yeah, how do we do that? Here we go, add labels. To say that this little feature is not very prominent is an understatement. So I'm in the space settings and the space template. Click on the add label. I have to say meeting notes, hit add, so that all new pages that have this space template get this label added to it. Hit close, hit save. I linked to a help article, I think, in the tutorial on how you can do this, but again, small nuance that you may not be aware of. So let's go back to my meeting notes page eventually. Loading, 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 loading. Okay, here we go. Thank you for loading, Confluence. Anytime now. You can do it. Come on, Spinner. Come on. All right. Meeting notes. Come on. Just want to go with meeting notes. I'll be honest, maybe my version of cloud, I might be on a slow internet, but hopefully your cloud Confluence isn't as laggy as mine. Could be my internet. Could be that I have other tabs open. I don't know. Okay. So now I'm back on my meeting notes. Hopefully this will load. Give you some more, show me some more real estate here. So my goal is to have new meeting notes show up in this content report macro table. And hopefully this will load so I can actually click on this button. Come on, Spinner. It will load eventually. Okay, here we go. I can click on this button. It's going to create my cool meeting notes template. And more importantly, it's going to give it that label of meeting-notes. All right. So let's give this a different date for now. Let's just call this 8/13. Hit publish. Yeah, I'm hoping when I get to the Coda demo, this will be hopefully a lot faster. I'm thinking this might just be my internet connection because I don't think Confluence is supposed to be this slow. But we'll see. Might be a good test to see the performance of the two platforms to consider for a Team Hub. So there you go. You see that how that's that label of meeting notes. So if I go back to my parent page of meeting notes, I'm just going to expand the sidebar just to show you more detail. So it has that 813, this new subpage that got created. But more importantly, it will show up under my all meeting notes content reports macro. And there it is, 8/13/2022. Less than a minute ago. And this again automatically gets created. It shows the creator, the modified. It's kind of like a simple table that you can look at to see all your meeting notes. You can click on the title. Automatically should bring you to the individual meeting note like that. So that's how you can create a meeting log in Confluence. Let's take a look at how to do this in Coda, shall we? So in Coda, I have a new page here. I'm just going to rename this to be called meetings. Actually, let's call this meeting log, just to keep it consistent with, or sorry, meeting notes, to keep it consistent with what we did in Confluence. All right, everything in Coda starts with a table, and I'm actually going to copy and paste a table of notes from another Coda doc just to make it a little easier and faster, because I know you've been working with me here and watching this video for a long time. And so I'm going to call this just table of meeting notes. And all you notice is there's just three columns. You have date, collapse this. You have date, who's here, and notes. And the reason why, what is this, canvas options? Okay, that's from a, well, actually let's just delete this for now. I'm going to create a new column called notes. This is a canvas column. And I'm going to show you why having a simple table like this is a great place to start. You can click on this open, and you can start basically writing in, writing your meeting notes here. And you can click on each one of these to see who attended, what the date is, et cetera, et cetera. So the important thing here is I want to be able to set the template just like I did with the space template here. I used my cool meeting note. Remember that template? I want to create something similar. So I'm going to create a there's actually two ways of doing this. The first way is I'm actually going to copy a template. I'm going to open this for now. And I'm going to edit this layout so everything shows up correctly. Let's just edit this layout. Name, notes. I'm not sure what all this stuff is, but I'm not sure what the name is. Actually, let me just unhide that column to see what that is. Okay. This is just like some naming convention we had in my other table. Delete that. So I'm going to click on this open. Notice how I have my notes here. I'm going to type in meeting notes. And Coda has its own kind of default meeting notes as well. Simple meeting notes is the one that I'm going to click on here. And it'll automatically show those meeting notes right inside this. We call this a canvas column. It's kind of like a column type that lets you write in whatever text you want. You have action items, agenda, very similar here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this data. And well, actually, before I show the power of using default column values, let's say I want to add a new meeting. I click on this new row. It's 8/11 today. Let's say I want Adam Davis and Alan Chwansky to attend this meeting. I can click on open. And then if I want to start typing meeting notes again, I can just write meeting notes. And I have my meeting notes there, the same exact template as before. But what if I want to use that template every single time I create a new row in this table? What I can do is click on this, click on Canvas options, value for new rows. Oh yeah, actually this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to create a subpage here. And this is going to be called My Cool Meeting Notes Template. Similar to what I did in Confluence, I'm going to paste this meeting notes template I had from before. I'm going to delete some of this stuff because again, some of this may not matter to my team and my culture. All I care about is having a kudos at the top. You know, give each other congrats and kudos here. And maybe everything else here, I'll just delete this. So this is the actual template I want to use for all my new future meeting notes. So if I click on meeting notes here, let's click on this drop down now. Actually, I'm going to hide this subpage because I actually don't want to show that in my meeting notes log. I'm going to now click on this drop down, click on Canvas options, value for new rows. I'm actually going to select that My Cool Meeting Notes template. This is just another page that I created just before. Apply this to 3 blank rows. And look what happened here. These icons now show up and they have automatically my kudos, my agenda, basically that format that I want to use for my team because that's my team culture. More importantly now, if I click on a new row here, and let's say I have a meeting on 8/18, have some people attending, the notes will automatically preload that template in that page I created, which is right here. In this subpage. So that's kind of how you can create templates. That's my preferred way of creating templates, because now I can, let's say I want to change this template. Maybe I want to add like, you know, pick how pulse check on how everyone is doing. So now all my future templates will have this section in the meeting note. So it's kind of like an ongoing live real-time template. New row, you'll see here, it has this pulse check thing. That's because I have the setting here as My Cool Meeting Notes template. The last thing I want to point out here is you can view this table in many different ways. That's one of the powers of tables in Coda. They can be laid out different ways. I'm just going to copy and paste this table above here. And I'm going to call this, oops, that's not what I want to do. I don't think I should copy the table. Let's copy this, paste, view of table meeting notes. I know this is a view because if I click on this little paperclip icon, you can see how this is a view of table meeting notes. Table of meeting notes is like the main table. I'm going to collapse this for now. And so I can kind of save some space. I'm going to call this like detail layout of meetings. And instead of viewing this as a table, I'm going to click on options, table display. Whoops, actually, I'm just going to go to detail. And this might be a more intuitive way for your team to look at your meeting notes because you can just click on individual dates here and the meeting notes will automatically show up here in the whole page. You don't have to click on that icon. You can search for certain days, you can search for different meeting notes, and everything just shows up automatically in this page. And again, just a little more of like a log feature, it looks more like a meeting log versus just like a straight up, you know, table of links to different individual meeting notes. Another big difference between Confluence and Coda here is that I don't have to create individual subpages for all my meeting notes. They're in the Canvas column right here in the notes column. You can, of course, create subpages too and do it this way and create a bunch of subpages, but this could get really long. And so this is a faster way of kind of keeping track of meeting notes without having to create a bunch of subpages. And that's my really long walkthrough of how you can create meeting logs and meeting notes in Confluence and Coda.